Today I'm going to be looking at the games that just finished in the round one of the candidates tournament. And I have to say, I'm extremely excited about what happened. So just before the game started, or while the games were starting, uh, I was having a lesson with John, and we were discussing who our favorites were and all of that. And I said that Nepo is Nepo and Grishchuk were mine, and what happened today was absolutely incredible. I was afraid that the games were going to be boring and drawn or whatever, but they were anything but that. There were two decisive results out of two games. If you haven't seen the games, then I hope this is going to be. Hello, Jarex. Hello, Sepe Daniels. So the games were absolutely incredible. Hello, Sam Hats. I don't know if you've seen them, but I want to look at Nepo's game against Giri. So what happened in that game was proof that high-level chess can still be interesting, and that high-level preparation isn't bulletproof, so to speak. Hello, Darin. Hello, everybody. Just let me ask you: is the audio okay? Is the stream okay? Can you hear me well? Okay, Mr. T, thank you. So yeah, I hope you guys haven't seen the games. So let's go. In the game, Anish Giri, Jan Nepomniachtchi. I'll actually flip the board so that we can look at it from Black's perspective. Anish Giri opened with knight f3, and after knight f6, c4, c5, we have the symmetrical English, or the Anglo-Indian, whatever, it's basically a symmetrical English. And we have knight to c3, knight c6, which are all the main moves. Now in this position, several things can be played. g3 is the most popular, then d4, what was played in the game. e3 can be played as well. Anish Giri went for d4. And now the interesting thing is that his prep was... basically his prep, what was interesting was on move 12, and he prepared a move that nobody's played before in a position that was incredibly complicated. Thank you, the Blundering Bishop, for subscribing. You are my first subscriber. Thank you. Okay, so in this position we have c takes d4, which is of course the only move, and knight takes d4, and now e6 has been played. So yeah, thank you, the Wandering Bishop. I'm really excited. Okay, so e6, and now g3. White is preparing a kingside fianchetto, and queen b6, putting pressure on this knight. So now there are a couple of options. You can go knight b3, and this line with knight b3 is slightly more popular than what happened in the game. It continues knight e5, putting pressure on the c4 pawn. e4. This is all very complex, but it has been played a lot on the highest levels. And bishop b4, queen to e2 is the main move, and now d6. So after d6, white has nothing better but to continue with f4, forcing this knight away to c6, and now bishop to e3, attacking the queen. Now there's no good way to defend. If you go bishop c5, then knight takes c5, so bishop takes c3, b takes c3, and queen to c7. And this is a slightly more popular line, as I said, where white has a structural deficit. Sepe Daniels, this is the game Anish Giri versus Jan Nepomniachtchi, which was the last game to finish, and I have to say I'm really biased because Nepomniachtchi is my favorite player currently in the candidates, and well, Nepo and Grishchuk are my favorites to win the tournament, and not only because I believe they can, but because I would really love to see them play Magnus Carlsen. If Ding won or if Caruana won, we could expect a match aggressive from one side, as we saw in Carlsen Caruana, But if Nepo or Grishchuk win, that's just that's going to be incredible. I mean, for the chess community and for the viewers, having a match Carlsen Nepo would be absolutely incredible. By the way, before I start, I'll just turn on the light, and also say that I hope all of you are fine. Pozdrav Vule. Hey Anton. I hope all of you guys are fine and have sorted out whatever you needed to sort out. I'm in isolation at home. Lucia went to her grandmother's, and I mean, I've been doing nothing but cooking, playing chess, and analyzing chess. Yeah. Vesna the mom. Okay, my mom's message was blocked by the by the mods. Hi mom, my mom is watching the stream, by the way. And thank you mom for bringing food and everything. So I'm isolated, so my family helps me and brings me food and stuff. So yeah, this was the line. Knight b3 after queen b6, knight b3 is the most popular move. In the game, knight d to b5 was played, which led to Anish Giri's preparation. Now, the only move is knight e5. This is still theory. There are two moves here, bishop f4 or bishop g2. Bishop g2 is, I believe, slightly more popular, and now the light continues a6, queen a4, of course, preventing a takes b because the rook is hanging. Rook b8, reinforcing the threat, and now bishop e3 attacking the queen, bishop c5, queen c5, and queen to a3 is the move. So if you take the knight, I take your queen. If you take my queen, I take with the knight. But after knight e5, bishop f4 was played. And now knight f to g4 is the move. e3, a6 chasing the knight away, h3, this is all still theory. And after a takes b5, taking the knight, h takes g4, taking the knight, knight takes c4. This is the point. Wait, I will just look at the... Anton, did I understand the endgame? Absolutely not. I've tried to analyze it. We will get to the endgame, and I hope you guys will share your insights. So yeah, I heard on YouTube you waited 20 hours on the border. What was I doing for 20 hours? That's... okay, Vula, you've heard of Vlaku Snegu, Čusi za Vlaku Snegu. It was like, Vlaku Snegu is a Croatian book where a bunch of kids are stuck in the snow in a train. Vlaku Snegu means train in the snow. So a bunch of kids are trapped because of snow, and they are in the train for a long time. And I felt like that, only with adults in the bus. So it was very strange, and people got anxious, people got nervous, people got... we basically didn't know what was going to happen. There were mixed feelings and mixed news. We would... our families would read what was said in the press conferences, we would read the news, and then, I mean, the situation kept changing every hour. We didn't know what was going to happen. So basically, when we arrived at the border, the bus that was the first in line to be checked was there for 24 hours already. So with that tempo and 14 buses in front of us, that would mean that we would be on the border for 2 weeks. So they had to change something. But in the end, they reduced the procedure to something very simple, and we crossed. So yeah, I mean, I really don't want to talk about that. I want to forget about the whole experience and just focus on what I'm doing here. I'm basically hoping to use the 2 weeks to learn as much as I can and not think about the fact that I'm not going to see Lucia and that I'm not going to be able to go out. Akash, they didn't test me. That's the thing. I think they tested people earlier, and that took long, because to get the samples back to the hospital in the capital and then to bring them back, that would have taken a million years. And basically they had a bunch of people grouped on the border. People could exit the buses and everything, but I mean, you don't know who's infected, you don't know what to do. Ideally, you'd want to lock yourself somewhere and be alone, but as I said, let's focus on the games. It was a great day in the candidates, and we had 2 decisive results. So yeah, the Wandering Bishop, it will be daily chess streams. It will be daily chess streams. I will train like an idiot. So I've basically, and again, thanks mom if you're still watching the chat. I didn't want to fall into procrastination mode and let myself go. So I have the alarm set for 6 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, I do 100 push-ups, 30 pull-ups, and I exercise like an idiot. Then I train chess, then I shower, have breakfast. I'm basically behaving as if I'm preparing for a tournament. So yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about that. I'm actually blocking out all the news. I don't want to read about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. And let's just learn chess. I hope that all of you guys are going to be fine. So anyway, the move here that has been played 22 times before is queen to b3. And after queen to b3, you're basically going to lose the b5 pawn. So d5 should be played, and now bishop takes c4. Of course, taking with the b pawn loses the queen, so d takes c4, and now queen b5 check. Queen b5, knight b5, this is the line, and you're threatened with this check, so bishop b4 check, and now king e2, and now you can castle, you can do several things, but this is basically known territory. Okay. This is known territory. Instead of that, Giri had prepared the move that, and I was watching the Chess24 stream where Magnus and Jan Gustafsson and Peter Svidler and what was the international master's name? Lawrence Trent were analyzing, and I don't remember if they were too surprised by Rook c1, but they were surprised. So after Rook c1, this is basically reinforcing the knight, and in my opinion, just making the threat of bishop b4 less powerful. In the game, and also, yeah, of course, if you do nothing, if you play something like bishop e7, then knight takes pawn, I think, can be played, because if queen takes knight, then bishop takes. And black should be great here. I don't know, maybe you can take on b2, but yeah. So basically, after Rook c1, Nepo played d5, reinforcing the knight, so that now knight takes pawn doesn't work. And b3 was played. And at this point in the stream, they were saying the engine move, which seemed surreal to all of them, and they were discussing, well, if Giri sees this, then, I mean, then it's his prep, definitely. So after d5, the engine move was g5. The idea behind g5 is that you are preventing f6, and bishop e5 is much more powerful. So, for example, if queen a5, pinning the knight, and then b3, you could play b4. Bishop b4 I don't think is good, but b4, and now b takes c4, b takes c3, and queen d4. And the position should be better for black, but nothing major. c2 check, king e2, and black is better, but it's not clear. Instead of that, after d5, b3 was played. And now Jan Nepomniachtchi taught for, if I remember correctly, 10 minutes or so. And he played the best move, which they'd expected on the live stream. He played bishop b4. Yeah, Mick McCarthy, this is Giri Nepo. So after bishop b4, you're, well, leaving the knight and prise. So pawn takes knight. But now rook a3 is the point. And after bishop e5, defending the knight for the second time, f6 is played. And the line is quite forced. And now you can see if the pawn was on g5, then this would be okay for white. The problem after f6 is that bishop d4 is the only move. Queen a5 is the only move, triple pressure here. Now what do? I was thinking, well, why doesn't he just defend the piece? Is it possible to just defend the piece? Well, the problem is if you try something like queen d2, then e5, and what do? I mean, you have to give up the bishop anyway, and then your knight is pinned to the queen, and it's just horrible. So queen d2 is not possible. In the game, Giri played bishop e2 fairly quickly. I think probably he didn't have the exact position on his board for more than 5 minutes, but he's seen this before. And now bishop takes c3. And after bishop takes c3, the situation is tricky. So if you take with the bishop, which you would like to do, bishop takes c3, rook takes c3 is devastating for white. Because now if you try king f1, well, if you try king f1, then just b takes c4, and I have a clear pawn, and my structure is perfect, your structure is horrible. And after rook takes c3, if you play rook takes c3, then queen takes c3, and either king f1 or queen d2 ends up with b takes c. And if you count the pawns, white has 5 pawns, and this completely busted. So king d2 instead of queen d2. Thank you for subscribing, Blue Lagoon 52. Thank you very much. I'm very, very excited that you guys can now subscribe. Thank you. Okay, so after bishop takes c3, Giri didn't take with the bishop, he didn't blunder, he played rook takes c3. And now after rook takes c3, you're basically unable to take with the bishop, because if you take with the bishop, then we have the same variation again. Queen d2 doesn't matter. Takes, b takes, and white is busted. So after rook takes c3, king f1 was played. And we now have a position in which Jan Nepomniachtchi is an exchange up for the moment. So he has 2 bishops and the rook against 2 rooks and the bishop. The pawn situation is 6 against 7. And Jan, I think, could have played b takes, and after b takes, just g5. There's an interesting line. Hey, PN, hey, Gabbets. So after b takes c4, g5 is a very interesting line. And here's what I found. So with castles, which seems absolutely normal, king g2, if you now try to save your rook, you're busted. So the correct move here is f takes g5, trying to relieve the pressure and leaving the exchange hanging. If you play rook a3, then incredibly rook takes h7 works. And this is very complicated. If you take the rook, then you just lose the game, queen h1 check. And if you try king g6, then it's forced checkmate after queen h5. You have to go king f5, and now gf6 check, king e4, and f3 is checkmate. There are other checkmates as well. So after rook takes pawn, king takes rook, if you go king to g8, then just g6, and it's game over. So after bc4, g5, I don't know if, yeah, I think Giri is out of his prep now. I think he is. So after bc4, g5, castles, king g2, Nepo probably would have seen pawn takes pawn, and something like queen e1, pinning the rook to the queen, and rook a3, and black is still obviously better, but I mean, white is not lost yet, the bishop pair is powerful. Instead of that, after king f1, Nepo didn't take immediately, he played b4, giving up the exchange back, basically. g5 still happened, and now e5, forcing Giri to take here, bishop c3, b takes c3, g takes f6, g takes f6, so fairly forced. And now queen to b1 was played, and I didn't quite understand the move queen to b1. To be honest, probably just defending the pawn. If there's something more to this move, somebody please share it, but I couldn't see a different reason. Maybe attacking this pawn here and also trying to prevent castling, but nothing high tech, I believe. So queen c7 from Nepo, just defending the h7 pawn. Queen d3, attacking c3, and now b5, forcing queen c3 because otherwise b4. So queen c3, bc4, and let's look at the material situation now. So white has 4 pawns, black has 5 pawns. Other than that, the material is equal. However, black's passed pawn seems, in my opinion, very dangerous, and white has to be extra careful. So this pawn doesn't seem to be going anywhere, blockaded by the bishop. In the game, Giri played e4, which is a very active move. Of course, if you advance, then queen takes pawn, which you would love to do that, but queen takes pawn. So after e4, Nepo just took d takes e4, and now rook h4, going in for well, taking the pawn, going for rook takes e4. And I was wondering if maybe queen takes pawn here was more precise, trying to trade the queens off, because if you trade the queens off, the situation should be easier for white. And during the stream, I just couldn't figure out why he didn't play this. I mean, what's wrong with queen c4? I don't know. I mean, what does black have here? I just couldn't see it. Vule, nemam pojma što kaže engine, neću gledat engine. Nemam pojma. I don't know what the engine says. I don't want to use the engine for this game. I think some of the positions were spoiled during the stream because people kept chatting on YouTube chat and saying the evaluations. But yeah, anyway, I don't know what's wrong with queen takes c4. Why not queen takes c4? Seems to simplify in a favorable way. But anyway, rook h4 played, bishop e6 now defends the c4 pawn, and rook takes e4. And unbelievably, Nepo just castles. So, I mean, if you take with the bishop, then I play rook c8. Oh no, that actually doesn't work. Wait. Yeah, bishop takes was played, and that works. Okay. But now king g7 threatening rook c8. Queen b3 played, and rook b8. And this is the critical position in which, for those of you who haven't seen the game, Anish Giri decided to give up his queen in this position after rook b8. In the chat, in the stream, king g7 was an amazing move. Yes, it was. I mean, it threatens rook to c8. I didn't think it was that hard to find, to be honest. I mean, what else do you do? Are there any other moves other than king g7? I thought that was fairly natural. So king g7, queen b3, rook b8, and now they were all excited in the chat about this queen sacrifice variation, where white is going to be left with rook and bishop for the queen, which should be material up for black, but shouldn't be easily winning. The variation I was looking at, and they couldn't figure out why not, was queen a4. And then I saw it. It's simply rook b1 check. And after king to g2, eventually you are going to attack this rook and basically win the exchange. And if king here, then I think you're in trouble somehow. Maybe rook b2. So basically after bishop d7, queen c2, you can now go queen to b7, pinning the rook, and if, now your rook is defended, if bishop to d3, then you simply play rook to b2, attack the queen, and bishop to c6. So that's why not. And after rook to b8, incredibly, the queen sacrifice was probably the best he had. So bishop takes e6, rook takes queen, he interposed rook g4 check. I don't think that matters that much, and bishop takes, and now queen c1 played. And this endgame, I mean, Anton asked, I'm very quiet. Is the microphone not working again? I don't know what's going on. Can you guys hear me? Is it better now? It's fine? Okay, because people said on the YouTube video that my mic was very quiet. I have a new mic, so I apologize because I'm an idiot for technology and I have no idea why it was. How is the quarantine going? It's going well, I have to say. I'm still... Okay, I'm pretty antisocial and I don't mind being home alone. Why not taking the bishop on move 29? Well, let's see. Bishop takes c4. I'm guessing that would be equal if you take the bishop. I mean, this has to be taken, and rook takes. This should just be a draw. I don't see black winning this position. Okay, so yeah. Antisocial is the point. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, for now it's going pretty well. I mean, if I didn't play chess, I would be cooking for a living, and I'm basically having feasts for myself. I'm cooking whole day, and I'm training, and I've been eating Indian food for 3 days. I've been making basically an Indian bacchanal, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm cooking and training and playing chess, so it's fine. And I also have a lot of chess friends. Ne vole, neće vape, kuham indijsku hranu. On move 30 for white, why not take the bishop? King g7. If you take the bishop, the queen is hanging. You are hanging your queen. Yeah, Akash Indian is my favorite food. And while I was in Germany, there was this Indian restaurant there, which was, I mean, it was sort of Western Indian, so they had butter chicken, tikka masala, and stuff like that. I wasn't really happy because the Indian restaurants in Zagreb were better than that, but it was still the best I could get there. So, okay, so let's go back. Bishop takes b3. Now, this endgame, if I had it on the board, I mean, against somebody rated 23, 24, 2500, I doubt I could win this. But what Nepo did was so precise that he played like an engine, basically. You are secretly hoping your area gets locked down so you have an excuse. Yeah, I mean, for chess players, quarantine is not too bad. Imagine if you didn't play chess. I mean, that's okay. So Nepo started with queen c1 check, king to g2, queen to c6 check, king to g1, and now he played h5. Now h5 well allows this check, which is okay. I don't think rook h4 would be good. Because you could probably check and go queen g5 defending. I'm guessing that's the reason, and the rook is kind of offside in this position. So h5 played, rook to g8 played, king to e7 played, rook g7, king to d6. And now I thought during the game that these pawns were very weak, and if white could get rid of one of those pawns somehow, namely the h5 pawn, he should be fine, because this seemed like a fortress position. So I thought, okay, rook h7 is fairly logical. I mean, not immediately bishop d1, but maybe something like bishop f7 in the future, and just targeting this pawn and creating a fortress in which your rook is going to be controlling this file, your bishop will be controlling this diagonal, and you're going to give up this pawn. Doesn't really matter, but basically there will be no way for black to make progress. That's what I thought, and I didn't know the engine evaluation during the game. Nigel Short here said rook h4 was better than what Giri did. At which position, Anton? Okay, I don't know. Rook h4 in which position? Before, instead of rook g8 check. Okay, let's see. So h5, rook h4 was better. Okay. Well, okay, you have to defend somehow, I guess, and I'm assuming this is the defense. But the problem is now, what I was thinking, that once the rook moves, this is a threat. And if you break open the fortress, then I think you should be better. I don't know. Maybe there are even some tricks like this. But could anybody explain why Nigel Short liked rook h4? I don't see it. I think that the queen is very good on g5. Yeah, by the way, you guys, I'm going to publish this stream on YouTube if I manage. Does anybody know if there are any tricks to doing that? Can I just download the video and upload it there? Okay, bishop d1. Okay. Okay, so you don't move away. Okay, so you just play bishop d1. Okay. Yeah, that's... Yeah, of course. Okay. So after rook h4, what do we do? How should I defend this if that's the threat? Maybe queen f3. And then I'm stopping bishop f7, I'm stopping bishop d1 after queen f3. And then if I can get my king over here and maybe go e4, e3. So what was the response to queen f3? Does anybody know? But can I not advance the e pawn? Maybe if e4, bishop d5. No, bishop d5 fails to queen d1 check. So what does white do here? I was pretty confused. I am pretty confused here. Push the pawn? The bishop is hanging. You should ask Nigel Short. Well, yeah. I don't know. If you push the pawn, the bishop hangs. If you move the bishop, maybe I can win it somehow. Let's say you go bishop c4, but now e4. And I mean, if you push the pawn, then I think this is very dangerous. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see what white should do here. Bishop c2. Bishop c2 to e4. That's smart. And if I go f5, what happens on f5? Just trying to break through. Where, John? a4 when? Here, a4? I don't know, I could be wrong, but this seems very strong for me. King f1 after queen f3. What? Queen f3, king f1? I mean, that's just... What human would play that? Can I not just go e4 again? Maybe after bishop c2, e3 you have rook f4, but no, that seems very dangerous. So anyway, after h5 he didn't play rook h4, he played this rook g8 check. King e7, rook g7, king d6, rook h7, queen f3. And this queen f3 came again. So the difference is that the rook is not on h4, it's on h7, and that the king is on d6, which is, I guess, favorable. Now rook h8, which again is a move I didn't understand. I'm sorry to say, because it simply wastes time in my opinion. So e4, yeah, and I think e4, e3 is the main threat. So rook d8 played, maybe rook h8 to be able to play rook d8, but just king e7, stopping any further checks. And now bishop d1 attacking the queen. So, I mean, what options do you have here? He played queen c3, which I'm guessing has to be good, because if you move the rook off the file, then queen a1 or queen c1. And rook d5 played. You have to keep the rook on the file. And now h4, breaking through. So if you take g takes h4, then I guess f5. But yeah, and it's still if you... So you can always play f5, because if rook takes, then queen check wins the bishop. So he did that. And he basically wants to get rid of this pawn to be able to play f5, f4. And if you don't take, well, I think you have to take. So if you play something like king g2, then I'm guessing takes, and you should be just lost after this. So after h4, gh4 played, and now f5. Again, if rook f5, queen e1 wins the bishop. So yeah, I mean, what else can you do? In the game, actually. Wait, this is move 43. Let's see what move 40 was. So after e4, e4 was move 39 for black, and then rook d8 was move 40. So after king e7, he had enough time. Bishop d1, he I don't know what the time control or what additional time you get after move 40, but it has to be enough. Bishop d1, queen c3, and now rook d5. And I'm guessing he saw h4, gh4, and f5, and during the game I was completely shocked that he took on f5. I just... how can this endgame be a draw? There's just no way. So rook takes, and of course queen e1, king g2, and queen takes bishop. And he played rook g5. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that most people could win this. I'm in practice, I don't know. I've never played queen and 1 versus rook and 3. But I think because your pawn is on e4 and so powerful, and the king is sort of in danger because you have f3 as an outpost, you should be fine. And also these pawns are all disconnected. If this pawn was here, then it's definitely a draw. I mean, but now with the king so exposed, I think it should be easily winning. So queen a1 played, attacking the pawn, rook g4, attacking the e4 pawn, sorry. Queen b1 defending the pawn, rook g3 doing nothing, I don't know, creating a fortress, but now queen a2. Rook h3, queen d5, defending the pawn, threatening a discovered check, and promoting a pawn basically. I think if you do nothing here, then you're just busted, and this should be just queening, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, how do you prevent me from queening? There's no way. So after queen d5, king f1 played, and queen d1 check, king to g2, queen g4 check, and now we come to the interesting part of the game, and this is where I thought, well, how the hell do you win this? The idea is basically to sacrifice the queen for the rook in a favorable moment after you've won the h-pawn, and then promoting your pawn quicker than white can promote his f-pawn. In this position, rook g3 was played. I don't think you can save yourself with moving the king here. That's the only way to save the rook, because well, maybe. I think we should just advance the king up the board now, and eventually this pawn is going to drop because the rook is locked down. So I think king h2 is kind of dangerous, because once you get your king close, you're again threatening to give up your queen for the rook and win. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think king h2 should be lost. So queen g4 he played, rook g3 gave up the pawn. Oh, sorry, no, rook g3, queen h5 played first. Why not take the pawn? Why not take the pawn? I don't know. I was expecting queen h4, but I don't know if there's something wrong with that. I mean, I don't see it. This is probably fine. Basically what white is trying to do, he's trying to play the move f3. So maybe after queen h4, he can go f3 and hope to hold this. I mean, hope. I mean, basically, I'm sure Nepo could win this, but I'm not sure what was wrong with queen h4. Oh, okay. Okay. Anton, thank you for that. I mean, so there's nothing wrong practically with queen h4. Okay, so he went queen h5. So yeah, good. He wanted to figure out the endgame. Thank you, Anton. Okay, so we have rook a3, queen d5, threatening e3 again. King to g1, king to f6, marching his king closer, rook to g3, queen d1 check, king to g2, king f5, and now his king is fairly close, and now we get to that point where sacrificing the queen for the rook is good. Rook g5 check, king f4, the king is marching closer, rook to g3, now queen to d5, again threatening e3, because if e3, it's going to be check, and then you basically advance your pawn, so king f1 again, queen to d2, king to g2, a lot of shuffling. I mean, seemingly he's not making progress, but his king just came to f4, so definite progress. Queen d1, and now king f5, rook to g3, and the king heads back. This part I didn't understand. Why would you move your king back? So I just, probably he was, what Anton says, trying to get to the pawn capture when he understands the position completely. So king g6, rook g3 check, king h5, and he goes to pick up the pawn with his king. So rook h3, queen b1, waiting, rook e3. White basically has no way to make progress. Now king takes h4. Rook to g3, cutting the king off. And at this point I was slightly scared that he's not going to manage to win. But, okay, king to h5 played. Rook h3 check, giving the king an escape square and a way to escape. So what if he just holds the position? How can he hold the position? That's the question. So if he tries, let's say, rook to g1, I was wondering about that. Well, then I think you can just go queen to b3. And after this, you can go queen to d5 again, threatening this check, and then the king heads back. And now how do you make progress? I mean, if he keeps the king locked out, then what's the way to win? Can I play a game against Stockfish 6? Sure, I can. I mean, I've never played the game against Stockfish 6, but I can try. Yes, Sorab, I'm analyzing the game Giri Nepomniachtchi from round 1 right now. But anyway, after king h5, rook h3, he let the king out to g4, and the king came to f4. And now I thought it was quite simple. So rook e3 played, queen d1, and basically what he wants to do is, let's say, okay, rook a3 was played anyway. So what I thought was queen check, rook here, takes, and this should be just a winning endgame. And I think that was the threat. What I couldn't understand is why not play queen g4 check? I mean, because he can just go back and he doesn't have to play rook g3. So after rook a3, he played king e5, trying to get the king closer on this side, and he wants to get in front of the pawn. So rook g3 played. Giri is basically repeating moves. Rook e3, queen d3. Of course, if rook takes queen, pawn takes, and the endgame is winning. And black is queening first. So after queen d3, king g1 played, and still, I mean, still the same threats. And in this position, if you wait, where are we? I think somewhere here he resigned. I think he resigned after queen d3. Am I wrong? Is queen d3 the last move? Can anybody check, please? Because I went a bit further in my analysis and I'm not sure anymore. I think this was the last move of the game, but my analysis was, okay, so if he goes rook e1, let's say, then queen f3 check should be completely winning, and king g1, just king c3, and coming here and basically winning the game. And after queen d3, if rook g3 is played, then you can go king c3, and again, you're getting closer. So for example, rook g7, king d2, rook g3, king e2, and now queen d1 check, and if you go king h2, then king takes f2, and this should be okay. And if, yeah, of course, if rook takes d3, you win. So after king g1, if queen takes e3 is allowed, then f takes e3, king takes e3, king f1, king d2 again wins the game. So I think queen d3 was the... Okay, king f5, king f6, where is that? Okay, here, okay, king f6. Okay, king f5, rook g3, king f6. Please, Anton, help, explain those moves. I don't understand why he went back instead of going here. I can understand that he wanted to pick the pawn up with his king, but... Yeah, thank you, Akash. So queen d3 was the last move. Yes, Sorab, this is the game, Anish Nepo. And I just couldn't believe that Nepo won so convincingly. I mean, so he wants to cross his king to the h-pawn. I understand that, but so he's basically waiting. Is white in Zugzwang? What if white goes king h2? Ah, queen f1. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay, I'm guessing rook g2 is the only move, but now you advance. Okay. Okay, so king f6 and he's in Zugzwang, and now, yeah, okay. Okay, I understand it now. So, I mean, thank you, Sorab. My analysis is definitely nowhere near Grandmaster level, but I'm trying to learn. That's why I don't use the engine here. And hi on Sound Chess. So, guys, do you want to look at Ding Liren Van Hao? I haven't looked at the game yet, but we can look at it together. Or do you want to play some games? Gavets, I don't know. I would recommend a basic endgame book. I don't know where you're from, but get any endgame book simpler than Dvoretsky's endgame manual. I don't know, Vlado Kovacevic basic endgames, or what was the other one? Wait, let me get the book. Okay, so one of these two. This one is by James Howell, Essential Chess Endgames, and the other one is by Vlado Kovacevic, Basic Endgames. So I would recommend that. I don't think. Yeah, Silman's book is okay too. I'm just saying any endgame book to start with, and just get those endgames correct, and after that you're going to... Amateur to IM is an incredibly good book. And I mean, I don't think I've learned more from any book. Maybe John Nunn's Understanding Chess Middle Games, but Amateur to IM is an incredibly good book. Sorab, no, I'm just weak. I'm nowhere near Grandmaster strength. I think my strength is over 2000. I have to play to prove it, but definitely nowhere near. Probably if I played 20 tournaments, I would get to 2100, and then I need to work some more. Okay, so let's look at Ding Van Hao. I'm going to look at it from Van Hao's perspective. Again, I haven't looked at the game at all. I briefly checked it out during the live stream. So it was a Sicilian in reverse with g3. So white is basically playing a sort of closed, wanting to get into the dragon Sicilian, bishop g2, bishop c5. This is a trendy new move. I think d5 and c6 are all... I think d5 is just the most powerful move, cd and knight d, and this is the main line. So you basically get an open Sicilian dragon setup for white. Instead of that bishop c5, which, as far as I can understand, requires a lot of theoretical knowledge and is very trendy now. Again, I'm not familiar with this position at all. So, yeah. Wait, one cow doesn't have a second? That's... Yeah. Two English lost. I agree. What I keep saying is the English is a great opening, but it restricts your learning, in my opinion. I think it's much better for a weak player like me to play either e4 or d4 or both. English seems fairly simple compared to the two. What book would I recommend to a 1650 ELO? John Nunn's Understanding Chess Middle Games, and then every chapter, there's 100 chapters. Every chapter, you go through every game. So each diagram will have a game. Go through the whole game, analyze it, and check John Nunn's points. Okay. One cow going full Bobby Fischer. Yeah, hello, Wise Pilgrim. Did Bobby Fischer not have seconds? I should know that. I'm actually not sure. Okay, so anyway, castles, and now after d3, bishop c5. d3 has actually been played only 10 times. That's the interesting thing. So Liren must have been prepared for bishop c5, must have been expecting it. So knight c3 is the main move, and after knight c3, castles. So, and usually you go e3 and not d3, and then you try to go d4. As far as I can understand the position. So knight c6 trying to stop that, knight g2, e2, and then you eventually want to go d4. d3 means that you're not going d4. So this is basically a new position, only a few games played. The highest rated game was actually Liren Grishchuk last year, and then Giri played it against Anand, and both games were won by white. So, okay, in this position, castles, knight c3, c6, knight f3, and this is basically a delayed Alapin Sicilian in reverse. So black is playing the c3 Sicilian, which white usually plays, and white is playing a normal closed Sicilian with a kingside fianchetto. So d6, I guess d5 could be played, although I'm not sure. Maybe d5 is not good for some reason. So d6 played, castles, rook e8, knight a4, putting pressure on the bishop. Bishop b4, a3, bishop a5, b4, and bishop c7. So a sort of Roy Lopez maneuver in which the bishop gets chased away to c2 for white, to c7 for black. There is the difference is that of course white doesn't have a pawn on e4. So I mean, so okay, a complicated position and a new position. This hasn't been played before. So e4 played, and now I think this is very close to a Roy Lopez, but white has fianchettoed. So a Roy Lopez in reverse, if you know the maneuvers where black plays bishop to f8 and bishop to g7. So a5 played, breaking up the structure. Again, a very thematic pawn break for the Roy Lopez and the Italian. So I was confused here. I obviously don't know the Sicilian in reverse. I don't play the English, but this resembled Roy Lopez in reverse now. Bishop b2. Knight a6, putting pressure on b4, and now b5. And I wasn't sure about b5 because cb5, cb5, knight c5 seemed fairly pleasant for black after this exchange, so I don't think there's anything better but to take. So knight c5, dc5, a4. I thought this structure was very good for black. I don't know. This seems to be like a Maroczy bind in reverse, and the normal Sicilian position white has a hole on d4. So if you can get, well, this kind of fantasy, but if you can somehow reroute your knight into d4, that should be an overwhelmingly good position. Maybe continue with b6, bishop to b7. All of that. I just thought this was very, very pleasant for black. Thank you, Gabets. Thank you very much. I don't know what this means. Highlight my message. I'm sorry. Ah, okay, you highlight your message. Okay, I'm new to Twitch still. I'm sorry. Okay, so bishop g4 played, rook a3, defending the weakness, and knight to d7. And knight d7, I think, isn't because of f5. I don't think you want to play f5, but simply defending the weaknesses. And now, whether you want to play b6 or not is a question, but you're stopping b6 from white. So h3 played, chasing the bishop away, bishop h5, queen to b1, and now defending the weakness and unpinning the knight, which is more important, b6. And as I said, I think I would prefer the bishop on b7. I don't really like the bishop on h5, but the idea is, I think, to trade the bishop off for the knight and highlight the weakness on d4. So one thing that he might have been doing with the knight, so here's what I'm thinking. So the idea behind knight d7 and bishop h5. Thank you, Paul, for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. So the idea is, I think, to give up the bishop for the knight and then go knight f8, knight e6, knight d4, and basically ensure that this pawn is going to be a weakness throughout the game. So black slide squared, black slide squared bishop is stupid if he doesn't manage to trade it off. But if he manages to trade it off, then I think this could be a good way to highlight the weakness. And then this bishop is kind of stupid, but maybe you can get it out somehow. If the knight is taken, then one of these pawns is going away. So I think that was the idea. So now knight d2. I think is a good move. Maybe instead of b6, just bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, and then b6. And I don't know what white does, something like rook d1, and now you can go knight f8. And I thought this would be quite good. I don't see why this shouldn't be played. I think this is a great way to highlight the weakness. So, yeah. But, okay, where were we? Okay, b6 and knight d2 now stops bishop takes f3. Knight f8 still coming into this square. Bishop f3, offering a trade, which I think is a smart thing to do, because this bishop wants to be traded off for this knight. So this is declined. One cow plays queen g5. Why didn't he trade immediately? Well, that's what I'm wondering, chess student. I mean, he could have traded on several occasions. So since he played knight d7, this seemed fairly sensible. I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, there's a hole on d4. So I don't know what white's plan would be here. So let's say b6 defending c5. Let's say rook d1. Let's say knight e6. I don't know. So if you, let's say bishop g2, knight here. If you allow queen takes, then this is going to be tremendous pressure on a4 and on d3. So the only downside I can see is that this bishop is kind of stuck, but I can always get it out this way. Sorry, this way. So I think that was a fairly sensible plan. Instead of that, he allowed knight d2. So, hey RPD, I'm great. I'm great analyzing games, well, the decisive games from today's candidates. Okay, so my biggest fear for the last 2 days was that the candidates was going to be cancelled, and I was looking forward to it a lot. So when they started the rounds today, I was very, very excited. So yeah, now I'm great because I'll have chess to analyze for the next 2 weeks. All right, knight f8 played, bishop f3, and as I said, he declined the trade. So h4, queen g6, still defending the bishop. And now queen d1 forces a trade. Now you have to take bishop takes f3, queen takes f3. And here, I thought, well, why not go for your plan with knight e6? I don't think there was any other point to knight f8, but he played h5, and if anybody can help enlighten me why h5 had to be played, I would appreciate it. I just don't see the point. It seems to be weakening the structure. Why not knight e6? This seems like a very nice move. I mean, is he afraid of h4? I don't think he should be afraid of h4. Is he afraid of g4? Again, I'm believing f5 should be suicidal. I don't know why he played h5. I don't like h5. Maybe he was trying to lock down the pawns and basically, with this structure, make sure that white doesn't have a single pawn break, that he cannot open the position up. So that's, yeah, high level for me. He was afraid of h5 for white. So let's say he plays knight e6, h5. Why is that scary? Why is h5 scary, Akash? Ben Feingold said h4 was a strange move because the only way to break through was f4. Okay. To fix the pawns on the dark squares on f4 was basically impossible after h5. Okay. So f4 for white is impossible after h5. Okay, that makes sense. I still don't like the weakness. So queen f5 played, offering a trade of queens. And I guess it's a good thing that the knight is here now. So rook a to d8, attacking the weakness, and now queen g6, knight g6. Now I like h5 after the queen trade. So I don't know, this already seems overwhelming for black. I mean, you have this huge, you have this huge weakness on d3, which you can target now. How easy is it to target it? I don't know. If I can get my knight into d5, then I could probably hold, but how do I get my knight into d5? So what about knight b1, knight c3, knight d5? I mean, then I guess just knight e7 could be okay. So if this knight could be traded for this bishop, and then knight c1, knight b1, knight c3, knight d5, I'm guessing white would be okay. So yeah, good point. f4 is impossible after h5 because the pawns are fixed. So I'm guessing h5 is a high level move which us mortals don't really get. I wasn't impressed by h5, but now it makes sense. King g2. f6 played, basically freeing up these two pieces from the defense of e5, knight c4, looking at this weakness, and now king f7, moving towards the center. Everything seems sensible. Bishop c1, rook d7, doubling up on the weakness, sensible. And now f4. Okay. So if f4 is impossible, how come he played it? I mean, it looks ugly to allow he takes f4. But it also makes it easier to play d4 if you remove this pawn. So ef4, bishop f4, I'm guessing. Why not knight f4? Okay, chess student, h5 doesn't prevent f4 directly, it just fixes this pawn structure. So if f4 is played, you can see that these two pawns are weak. So why not take with the bishop? Why not take with the bishop? Ah, because you lose here. So takes, pawn takes, knight takes. Yeah, you would lose the b6 pawn. That makes sense. I see it now. So knight takes, g takes. And now I'm guessing this position is critical. So yeah, now h5 seems very nice, fixing the pawn here. So did you guys see the game? Does anybody know the game? Have you seen it live? Because what happened next was incredible. I mean, what happened in the next 10 or so moves. Yeah, now white has two weaknesses. White has the h4 weakness, the d3 weakness. You could argue that the f4 pawn is a weakness as well. And now this move was absolutely remarkable. I mean, if I'm black, I would be trying to play something like rook d8. And I'm guessing you could hold with rook f3, but it seems fairly unpleasant. So rook d8 doesn't really work, and even if you play rook here, then bishop takes pawn is impossible because of knight takes pawn, and here I'm guessing white should be more than okay. But after gf4, Wang Hao's next move was, if it's not the best move in the position, then I don't know. I think it is. He played f5, and this is so incredibly strong. So if you take it, then the king is going to pick up these pawns easily, and this is now a terminal weakness. You also allow the rook to come in, and it should be a busted position. So after f5, e5 was played, and now you have three weaknesses. You have three weaknesses to target, which cannot be defended easily, and you have a dark squared bishop to put pressure on these two. So yeah, okay. So I mean, f5 was, I thought, just an incredibly strong move, and he played rook e6, and now we see the point of f5. The point is, I'm going to get my rook to g6, and then I'm going to get my bishop back, and I'm going to win the h4 pawn, and there's nothing you can do about it. So rook g6, rook g4, bishop d8, and I win. So basically a winning position. And at this point, on the live stream, that they started saying that Ding is losing, which I couldn't believe. I mean, all the stuff they were saying before the games, that Ding Liren is a favorite, blah blah blah, that Wang Hao is going to draw at best. I thought that was just horrible because Wang Hao is an incredibly strong player. But this is, Ding Liren was crushed. I mean, this wasn't a close game. This was just crushing. And Wang Hao's technique was perfect. So king f3 here, rook g6. And now, basically, the only move is knight e3 to try and prevent rook g4 immediately. So knight e3 played. King e6, that's the idea, to get the king closer to these two squares to prevent an eventual knight d5. And now you just have to increase the pressure. Rook d1 played, defending the weakness, bishop d8, attacking the pawn, rook to a2 played. And now, if you take with the bishop immediately, I don't know what the problem is. Maybe bishop takes and then rook h1, and then when you go back, just rook takes here. And if you try to seg the exchange here after rook h1, then I think white can hold this. I don't think this is as powerful. So after rook to a2, he didn't take the pawn immediately. He played rook d4. And now this is just, I mean, look at this rook. Look at the potential of this rook. Look at this bishop. On the other hand, look at white's pieces. This was such a dominant position. I was amazed to see this. And I don't think white can hold this. I have no idea what the evaluation is, but I don't think white can hold this position anymore. So, knight to c2 was played in this position, trying to chase the rook away. So rook d5, knight e3 trying to repeat, and now rook d7 going away from there. And now rook d to d2. And I don't know, maybe he was still thinking that bishop takes h4 fails to the same thing, but this is taken. And now, if rook here, I'm guessing rook g4 is the same thing as before, so takes with check, king moves, and bishop here should be that. I don't know. Is this winning for black? Anton, why was rook d2 a blunder? Can you explain why rook d to d2 was a blunder? How does that change bishop h4? He missed the move d4, which would be fine for white. At which point? Wait, instead of rook d2, you want to go d4? How is that okay for white? I don't understand. So d4 you could just, what if you take with the rook? Yeah, I'm guessing you allow this. So yeah, d4 is interesting. Was it d4 on move 40, Anton? Is that what you were talking about? d4 here? I think d4 works, but I'm not sure. Okay, there. Okay. But rook d2, d2, and now, what was the difference? Why? Wait, why not take the pawn here? What's the difference? Bishop h4 on move 37 instead of on move 40, because he took it in this position. The only difference is that the rook is on d2 instead of on d1. So I don't really understand the subtleties here. And rook to g2. And now if, I'm guessing if you take the rook, the position should be a draw. So knight takes, if rook takes here, then I'm guessing you I don't know, I think this is still better for white. I'm missing something. Help me out here. So if rook takes g2, and I remember them saying in the stream that rook takes g2 shouldn't be played. To be honest, I don't know the refutation here. So if king takes, rook takes pawn. If knight takes, rook takes pawn, check. So what's the idea? Why not rook g2? Can anybody help me out here? I really don't want to turn on the engine. Rook takes. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. I just didn't see rook takes. Excuse me. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. I mean, you're still a pawn up, but it's, yeah, it's not easy to win. Okay, yeah, fine. Rook takes. Okay. So after rook g2, he played rook g4, which everybody was shouting was the only move, and I mean, it's a nice exchange sacrifice. It wasn't taken. Rook h2 was played, and after rook h2, g6 was played, preparing to move the bishop away. If it's taken, then I'm guessing this should be winning after g5, and I mean you have to takes, bishop takes, and king moves somewhere, and you take here, and this should be overwhelmingly good. This was at least what I was calculating during the game, and I think the bishop can easily win with these two pawns. Instead of that, after rook g4, rook h2 was played, and now g6, and now the exchange was taken. So knight takes g4. We have a pretty similar position. We just have g6 interposed. So fg. Yeah, fg. Why fg? This part I couldn't understand. Knight g, why not hg? I'm guessing, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. I would have taken with the h pawn, although I don't know why. Yes, Kurus, we will play some games today. I'll just finish this game quickly. Should be done in a second. Does anybody know the difference between h takes and f takes? You're also in quarantine. Hello, quarantine buddies. The f5 square should be occupied by the king. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so f takes, king e3 played, bishop e7 saving the bishop, rook a to c2 played, and h4. And here he resigned. I mean, hey Technoblade, I'm happy that this is your first time on Twitch. Stepan, why did you say a while ago after g5 white was forced to take that pawn? Where are we? G5. I mean, if you don't take the pawn, I think I can just do this. Wait, let's say you play, I don't know, let's say you play here, takes, king takes. I think I can just reroute my bishop and win this pawn, although I could be wrong. Maybe just check here, the king moves, check here, the king moves, and just king takes here. I'm guessing something like this would happen, and black's king would be infiltrating. Yeah, so that was the resignation, and I mean, I was fascinated to see two decisive results with black in round one of the candidates. So, yeah, so, okay, my favorites to win, and I really want to hear yours, are Nepo and Grishchuk. Now with Nepo's play, Nepo is my favorite of the lot, and John, you remember me saying today that I would like Nepo or Grishchuk to win because they're the only interesting players. Well, yeah. Who do you guys want to win? What are your thoughts on the candidates? Nepo and Fabi? Okay. Let me just turn on the challenges. Wait, how do I do that? Preferences. Privacy, always. Okay. Guys, if you'd like to play a game or two, we can play if you want. If you want, you can challenge me to blitz, or I'd prefer 3+2. Let me just set this up. Let me increase this a bit, and we'll finish the stream with some games. Okay, I'll go. Alexenko played well today? Okay. I'll just accept the challenges one by one. This one is Steve Max. Okay, good luck, Steve. Please, if you're playing me, what are my thoughts on playing versus studying? I think both are useful. Depends on how much you play, what time controls you play, and whether you analyze your games or not. I think that studying is just as important. Just it depends. I will probably play a lot more than study if I'm procrastinating. If I'm serious, I'm going to study a lot more than play. Okay, do I play f3? I'll play f3. PN2206, when will I play a simul again? Well, the last simul was just horrible because I lost all of my games and I took on too many players. But I could play another one. We will see though. What am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll just castle queenside. How can I remember so many lines? Because once you play them, you remember them, sort of. And I think playing reinforces your knowledge, so just memorizing lines doesn't really work. I think by playing you learn much better. What do I do here? What do I do here? Okay, I'm not afraid of him taking. I'll just start an attack. So I'm going to talk a bit less while I play. Good evening, Sean Ferry. Guys, if you want to challenge me. I'll accept the challenges in order. And once I start losing like a moron, I will stop playing. Okay, so I don't see a problem with taking really, but I don't want to take. I'm just going to, push on. Okay, queen takes. Knight c7 is impossible because of queen takes knight. Knight e7 is possible, but just queen d2 should be okay. Oof, that's risky. Okay. How do I get rid of my h pawn? That's a good question. Maybe I should just go. Maybe I should just do this. This seems like a sensible plan. He's going to go, but I have an idea. Okay. No secret chance today. How do I continue this position? This is weird. Okay, let's just try to brute force it. Takes my rook. Let's take the knight. If the knight goes to f4, then g3 should be okay. And also just h7 should be okay. So h7 takes. This should be okay, I think. Because if he takes my rook, I queen. If he... Okay, that should win the queen, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, no chance today. I hope it's not going to be necessary. So can I take on d6? Yes. And then if rook h1, I'll just go rook back to d1. Okay, let's queen the pawn. What do I do here? Let's go here. b4. Yeah, I won't be chanting today. I hope. I hope the games are going to be better than last time. How do I put pressure on f6? Let's just chase this one away. That one is annoying, and then I can check on e6 as well. Yeah. Okay, so now takes. If he takes my bishop, no, I'll just go here. This should be winning enough, I think. What do I do? Let's attack the rook. Attack f6 as well. Yeah, Sean Ferry, you can be sorry you missed it. It was an incredible first day at the candidates. I was just amazed to see how well things went for us, the spectators. Okay, I need to read out my pieces somehow, so I'll go bishop here. Okay, let's exchange the rooks. How's the isolation going? Well, I mean, I'm playing chess. If I didn't play chess, I would probably be bored to death, but this is quite enjoyable. I think I mean, I don't really mind being in isolation when I have chess. So it will be queen and bishop versus two knights, which is a weird combination. Oh, actually, I win one knight. It doesn't work. Unless he takes my rook. Yeah. So that should be it. I think this should be winning enough. Can we do a small simul? Yes, sure. Okay, I'll create one if you want. Just like 5 people or something, not 20 like last time. Okay. So what's the best way to continue here? I guess I'll check here, win the pawn. Something is wrong with my internet though. Can you see the stream normally? Because my internet seems to be not working properly. Yeah, I don't know. There's Lichess is lagging. Yeah, I think everything is lagging for me now. Is it just leeches? Okay, let's. I'm not going to do a simul where while there seems to be lag. I'll just play on a little bit. Let's play a few more games. Good luck, PN2206. It's buffering. Lichess is buffering. What? Yeah, if I do a simul, let's actually arrange. Let's arrange a simul for tomorrow, Anton, and I will think about it carefully and do something to invite players early so that everybody can get a chance to apply. Let's say I do a simul with 10 people. What time control should we play? Try to turn on the quality of the stream. Okay. Well, I can just take, I guess. What's wrong with 94? I don't think there's anything wrong with 94. Sorab and Antan and everybody, I will create a simul for tomorrow, actually, and I will. What time is the stream tomorrow? I'm guessing around 8 p.m. Croatian. Should be okay. Which piece do I take? Okay, this was a bit too much. Okay, the time control should be plus 10 minutes. Okay. I'm sorry, Technoblade. All the tournaments were cancelled. Let's do one more challenge. Macbeth. Okay. Please don't look at the screen while you play. Good luck, Macbeth. Leeches tournaments are not being cancelled. That's true. Yeah. Okay. I'll abort because you're not playing. Okay, let's do one more. Dishearten. Good luck. Female FM. Okay, this is going to be an interesting game. Please don't look at the stream. Okay, let's do an Italian. Bishop c5. Why bishop c5? Ah, that's the line I hate most. Ah. Okay, I'll play c3, which I'd played before. I also played f4 before. I think f4 is the best move, and then queen d4, rook f1. Maybe I should have played f4. I know f4 better. d4, e d3, knight d3, queen g2, bishop f3 should be okay. And then he loses the bishop, or she, I'm sorry. Queen g2, bishop f3, queen g5. I mean, queen g2 doesn't work. I'm sure it doesn't work. So now, rokada, lovac f3, I don't think I'm hanging anything because I have g3, bishop f3, bishop g2. Okay, bishop f3 anyway. That's not a chant, Akash. I'm calculating in Croatian. Yeah, John, yeah, that's true. Everybody is working from home on leeches. Jesus. I'm guessing all websites are going to have high traffic. Okay, so how do I continue here? I like b3, c4, bishop b2. That could be risky though. b3, rook d8, queen c2, bishop h2. Okay, b3, rook d8. I can go c4. b3, rook d8, c4. Queen somewhere, bishop b2 or queen c2. So I like b3. Could be an imprecise move. Definitely isn't very precise, but I want to lock the knight out of c4. Basically, I want to force the knight to go here. And I want to open up my bishop on the long diagonal. And I'm a minute ahead on the clock, which is good. Okay, c4. Threatening h2, so g3. Yeah, this isn't so good. I missed that. Okay. This is very irritating. I'm a moron. Good job. Good game. Let's actually analyze this. Okay, so here I'm still fine. Bishop d6, castles, castles. Can you guys see this board? Bishop f3, queen b5. b3 is probably a big mistake. Yeah, I don't know. I think b3 is imprecise, but I don't know why. Bishop f5, c4, queen b8. Yeah, after g3, rook d8. Seems tough. But how do I defend? What if I go bishop e2? Yeah, I missed bishop g3. Yeah, good game. Dealing with connection issues due to peak online users. Okay, hey funny animator Jim. Okay, let's do a few more challenges. Okay, Kuros, good luck mate. No, not a 10-minute game. Kuros, please challenge me to a 3+2 game. This will take too long. Kuros, 3+2 please. I think a 10-minute game would be too long. Okay. Good luck. Ah, no. Why do people play this stuff? I'll try to concentrate because Kuros is much better than me in most time controls. Okay, can I castle? Yes. And now e5 comes next. What the hell is this? This is some variation of the Nimzovich, or I'm sorry, the Chigorin. I'm not really familiar with it, but it's a closed position and he allowed me to play e5. So I think I should be better here. Although I'm not sure. This has a name, Veresov attack. Okay. Yeah, I mean, playing knight c3, I have to react. This is just weird. Kuros, are you here? Are you okay? You can't stop e5. Is f4 dangerous? f4 could be very dangerous. So bishop takes f4. Oof, knight f4, why? Is there a threat? Knight g6, fg6, queen g6. Seems scary. But I think I can just win a pawn. So if I takes, queen b6, king moves, take here, rook b1. No, I'm in trouble there. So knight g6, fg6, queen g6, bishop g7, queen h5. Okay, I think this is a fairly sensible move, just stopping knight g6 and threatening to win a pawn. And now I think d4 should work. Oof. That's just a blunder. Do I take or not? I'll just take the exchange. And now develop. Okay, here. I have to be careful about the f6 square. Okay, here. Defending f6. d6 is not a problem because queen takes queen. Okay, still everything defended. That's a good move. Okay, so let's try and get away from all the checks. But no, here I'm hanging this. Okay, so sensible move. Rook e6, defending everything. I need to put quadruple defense on this square. Okay, I'm not afraid of this. I'm guessing I can take and take again. Okay, let's chase the queen out. Okay, now let's double up. I'll just get away from the checks. I'm kind of scared of all the tricks he has. Oh, why would I miss that? Jesus. I also missed rook g8 check. Oh, I can be such an idiot sometimes. Oh. Okay, I will fight on. Why am I so stupid sometimes? Jesus, I just lost a one game. But, Oh, I'm so upset. Good game, Kuros. Jesus. This I don't believe how stupid I am sometimes. Okay, 2 more games, and then I'm going to call it a day because I started playing like a moron. Yes, I'll castle first. Taking is normal. Why is taking better than going bishop e7? There has to be a reason. Trocada. Okay. I mean, I can isolate his pawns like this. I guess that's why taking is played first. So I should have a slight advantage. Shouldn't be anything major though. Get my rooks to the center. No, understanding chess middle games, Anton. That's definitely my favorite middle game book. Okay, let's double. The problem is that it will be tough for him because of the a7 pawn. Okay. I don't really like giving away my bishop pair, but I think I can take and go knight here. I could be wrong though. I think I see a way to win a pawn. So knight e5, bishop e5, bishop f6. If rook d3, then bishop g7. And bishop g7 and rook d3. Ah, yeah, no, but I lose the b2 pawn. And knight d4, c5, knight b5. I'm going to try it. May not be the best idea, but I think this is okay. Should probably play... No, he can't... King e8 seems like the best move, but... I don't know what to suggest. I mean, c5 I think loses to knight b5. Yeah, but now surely just knight check here. And I'm not losing because of the knight fork, because I have rook d8. I've calculated that well. Okay, so now he is threatening knight e4. So I need to watch out for the fork. So rook d3 should be okay. I mean, I'm just a pawn up in rook endgame. Doesn't mean too much, but should probably be winning. Bishop or knight here, I have no idea. I don't like the knight coming here, so I'll just do that. And yeah, now this loses a pawn. He only had rook a8. This way he loses a pawn. Yeah, unless I blunder checkmate. So g3, rook d2. Why am I so stupid? I have to go rook d3. g3 didn't work because rook d2 wins all my pawns. I think he should have traded though. I'll try to focus and not talk. I actually managed to lose this game. Jesus. Oh, phew. He left me this queening square. Oh, he missed that I queen and stop his. Oh. Oof. It was a draw, I think. Okay, good game. Trieste. Good luck. We have a London system. Okay, early queen b6. Man. I like this queen b6 variation. I think it's interesting. Yeah, this wins a pawn. Yeah, I think so. Knight c3 has to be played, and I basically cannot take. How should I take there? Wow. Takes, knight takes, bishop takes. No. I'll just go e6. That seems the most sensible move. Yeah, knight c3 has to be played. You're correct. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, this should be okay. I should be winning. I'm also drinking way too much water. I have to go to the toilet. Playing under pressure, that's always smart. I mean, he just blundered the piece. I don't know what else to say. I'll just develop sensibly and then take up some key squares and try not to mess up. Okay, rook c8. I don't think c4 works because of knight a5. Takes, knight a5. So knight e5, knight takes, queen takes, bishop a7, queen takes, rook takes. And I don't have rook c2. So maybe not that. But I'm going to go e5. It seems slightly scary to expand like that, but I think it's justifiable. Okay. Okay, that has to be taken off. And now knight d7 and bishop f6 should be, maybe f5 first, but I think bishop f6 is good enough. Okay. He says worth a try in the chat, yeah. He was threatening checkmate, so, but yeah. Okay. Let's put some pressure. I don't know. I think this game is going well. If queen g3, I have a knight f3 check. And if... Okay, that's weird. Just try to force a trade of queens. Oh, that just hangs the queen. Okay, let's do one more. Good game. Good luck, Tristasire. I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's go, Caruana. First time today. Okay. Main line. Very early c4, that's interesting. Huh. Hum. Okay, I'll castle kingside. To be honest, I don't like these positions for black. I'm always stuck here. If I'm playing somebody weaker than me, then I don't know what to do here. I play this for white. I play without h4, h5. So I think this is the most solid white could go for. And for black, there's hardly any chances here. Okay, plays rook c1. So I could go e5, break open the position. I think I like e5, c5, takes. Okay, I like e5. I need to play either e5 or c5 at some point. If I go c5, there's an imbalance. If I go e5, it's usually a symmetrical pawn structure. Okay, takes, bishop takes, queen c7. If knight takes, threatening knight f5. Okay, bishop takes, queen c7 is good. Okay, so I have to take here. I didn't calculate this at all. This is just, it's just stupid. I'm pretending to know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I missed a piece. I blundered the piece. He should just take on g7, surely. Yeah, or that. Okay, I'll resign. Good game. I just blundered the piece. Okay, two more, and that's it. Good luck, funny animator Jim. And again, this, oh, I forgot that you play this horrible thing. Ah, okay, I'm not getting into that. D6, what's this, a weird Philidor now? Bishop G4. Can you go knight G4 here? I'll stop that. Okay, let's liquidate immediately. And then stop knight H5 with G4. So takes, take, that's fine. So G4, stopping F5. Okay, now Bishop C4 defense. I'm not happy with my position, but I'm not too upset either. I think I'll survive B5. Have to castle. Yeah, that's what I missed. I don't know, this is just a desperate attempt. I'm playing like an idiot. Playing like an idiot. None of this works. What do I do here? I don't think there's a way to save this position. Let's just try something. I don't know, this is all fairly desperate, but I have to try. Oh, just beast. Nah. Okay, good game. Okay, last one. Last one. Okay. Last one. I'm starting to play bad. Good job, funny animator Jim. Good game. Okay, I'll abort this one. Okay, last one against d4, d5, c4, 96. Okay. Dark Knight Pirts, that has a name? C6. Yeah, this is very, very symmetrical and very, very boring. But I don't think white is better. At all. Classical Pirts with knight c6. Okay. Fair enough. Yes, I'm going to upload this stream on YouTube. So I guess I can just download it and then upload there. So I will do it. This game is so incredibly boring, I don't want to play it. There seems to be something wrong with this, but I guess I'll do this. I think my pieces are more active now. I think I should be slightly better here, but I'm not sure. Oh, thank you for the square. Now I'm definitely better. Oh, the knight was hanging. I'm so stupid sometimes that even I can't believe it. Jesus. That's just incredible. The whole knight was hanging. That was just... Karpov, Ulf Andersson and Petrosyan. I think you just named the players with those styles. I don't know. I can't really say who else plays like that. I think you basically have enough on your list to go with. Yeah, Jarex, yeah, that's true. I didn't want to win like that. I don't believe in cheap wins. This should be a win now, but bishop takes h6 was more interesting. What am I doing? Ah, I'm so slow. Okay, yeah, I'm too slow. Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. I will see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Yeah, I had it. I had everything. Okay, so tomorrow at around 8 p.m. I have a lesson at no, actually, I'm sorry, 8:45. So 15 minutes to 9, because I have a lesson at 5 and then at 7. So a bit before 9 o'clock tomorrow creation, and I'm going to do a simul and I'll prepare it in advance. I will actually post it on YouTube. I will post an application thing so you can apply, and then I'll figure out a way to choose players for the simul. Thanks everybody for watching and for subscribing. I'm extremely excited. This is my first stream as an affiliate. That means a lot. Yes, I do have a chess.com profile, but I only use it for secret games with my students and nobody knows the username. Okay, so see you tomorrow, guys. If there are some extremely interesting games at the candidates, we will look at them. If not, we will play a simul and I will figure out the best way to organize it and all that stuff. Thanks again, and see you tomorrow. See you in about 24 hours. Thank you, Blue Lagoon, for subscribing. Thank you. Thank you all for the games, and congratulations for crushing me, some of you. See you in 24 hours. Enjoy your evening. Hope you all stay well. Yes, you will, Funny Animator Jim. I will publish it in the community tab for the simul. You will see it there. Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.